I still remember the hot concrete of my LA County suburb, white and blinding in the sun where the school bus would drop me off. The walk from the bus stop to my house was about 3/4 of a block. A straight line passing chain link fences and old chain smokers sitting out in front of their houses, watching the neighbors. I remember the barking dogs. At one house, a little munchkin of a terrier. At another, the bassy harumph of a Rottweiler. And I remember him. The neighborhood bad guy, whatever name I knew him by. If I'd known any at all, given his taboo status, has long since left my mind. But not his face, pale, angular, tall, with long curly hair and a mustache. He'd shout at me and my brother as we passed by across the street. He'd call us chinks and tell us to go home. Back on the boat. To get the fuck out of his country. I was 7 when I asked my mom what the words fuck and chink meant. She asked where I'd heard those words. When I told her, she told me that he was a bad guy, and those were bad words. Then she told me never to say those words again. She never told me what they meant. My dad only laughed, saying that I was only half chink, and don't forget it. For a long time after that, my brother would guide me around the other side of the block. We'd have to walk almost double the distance, passing the yippy little chihuahua next door and the pit bull across the street, but at least the bad guy wouldn't be able to shout at us anymore. One day, some neighborhood kids told us that he was gone. That he attacked his mother, and she finally got fed up. Kicked him out right on the spot. Elizabeth, who lived across the street from him, said that she heard his mother calling him all sorts of bad words. My brother and I started taking the short way home again. The dogs still barked as we passed by, but the barking wasn't half as bad as the shouting. Then one day, my brother had an appendectomy. He missed school 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. All 3 days I walked home alone. Elizabeth had clubs. Jesse had moved. All 3 days, I passed by that blue track home where the bad guy used to live. It seemed that he really was gone. Now, one thing I should fill you in on. My parents were traditional. Black and white. There were bad words and good words. There were girl chores and boy chores. And there were girl duties too, like protecting ourselves from bad guys. If someone tries to take you, my parents used to say, don't go with him. Most of the time when a girl gets taken, they never find her until she turns up dead. Even if he says to come with him or die, just let him kill you. Because if he takes you, he'll do terrible things to you and then kill you. Parents of the year they were. Managed to traumatize their child and devalue her in one stroke. But I understand their motive. To protect me. On the 4th day after my brother's appendectomy, the sun was still blazing hot. So hot that the old smokers went indoors, leaving their porches empty. But even though no one was out on that scorching day, I had the feeling that someone was watching me. I passed the beige house with the black terrier, barking at me. I looked across the street and saw the blue house where the bad guy used to live, still quiet since the rumor spread. I passed the yellow house, where the apricot lady lived. I passed the white house where I heard the barking of the little black terrier from behind me. I yanked my head around, expecting to see another walker on their way home. Maybe Elizabeth had come straggling along, but the sidewalk was empty. The dog is still barking fiercely at a tree. Someone is behind that tree, I thought. Someone is hiding. So now I ran. I ran past the greenhouse where Jesse used to live. I ran past the tan house where the Rottweiler's bassy bark rushed me on. I ran past the stone house and the adobe house and the yellow sandy one, and I heard the Rottweiler bark, and I heard fast footsteps behind me, and I ran and ran, not turning to look. I reached my gate, grasping at the hook. No one is home, I knew. My brother was still in the hospital, and my parents were at work. But the door would keep me safe. Except I couldn't reach the door. I couldn't even get through the gate. Big hands grasped me by the collar of my shirt, lifting me off the ground. Another hand wrapped around my mouth, salty as dirt and sweat. I gripped the fence, willing myself to meld with it. To be glued to it, clinging to it, for literal dear life. I still remember the face of the bad guy as he looked down on me. Blackheads on his nose, a splatter of hazel in his eyes, "Come with me and you won't get hurt," said the bad guy. But I kept clinging. He gave a yank, but my grip was steel. He whispered a threat, but I was prepared to die. He didn't know that, but I was. In the background, I heard the terrier barking. I heard the Rottweiler roaring, the Chihuahua screaming, and I heard the pit bull snarling. And one by one, their owners stuck their heads out of their doors, yelling, "Quiet down! Inside! Now!" And "What is going on out there?" And one by one, their eyes scanned the neighborhood to see what all the noise was about. The bad guy set me down, under the gaze of the neighbors. "Glad to see you home safe," he said, turning stiffly to walk away. The hand was gone from my mouth. My feet were back on the ground. But the fear still dwelled in my heart, ready to burst. So I did what you do when you have a fear that deep. I screamed. I screamed every bad word I knew. I screamed fuck, and I even screamed chink as the neighbors called the police.